Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to start with our next neighbor, that is Myanmar, and we are going to talk about India Myanmar relations. Okay, so the subheadings under which we are going to talk about it is the importance of Myanmar, the timeline or the history, areas of cooperation, areas of conflict between the two countries, and the way forward. Okay, so here shown in picture is the map of India, Myanmar, and basically to show the bordering countries which Myanmar, like the bordering states of India which are sharing borders with Myanmar. So there are 4 states. One is Arunachal, second one Nagaland, third one Manipur, and fourth one is Mizoram. So 4 of the northeastern states are there which share borders with Myanmar. It's important to remember that Assam doesn't share its borders with Myanmar. Okay, so these are the bordering states. Now let's go towards the importance of Myanmar. So the importance. So the first one is the location. 4 of the northeastern states share borders with Myanmar, and the important feature of these borders is the dense forest which are there in this. So because of the presence of these dense forest, it's very difficult to basically fence the borders. So sharing long forested borders with 4 of the northeastern states. Since these are the forested borders, the fencing, there is this issue of fencing, and since this fencing issue is there, because of which this the proper fencing is not possible, that's why there is this problem of insurgency from like the insurgent groups. They have found safe havens in the country of Myanmar as well. So in order to fight those insurgent groups which are present in the Myanmar, that's why this is important. Basically Myanmar is important for the security of the northeast region, so that they can be fight with the insurgent groups to fight insurgency in the northeastern regions. So as it's just kind of data only in order to enhance your answer, like in case you have to present it. Mizoram share porous 510 kilometers long border with Myanmar. Nagaland and Arunachal have boundaries of 215 and 520 kilometers respectively. And also because of this, there is these cultural linkages are also there between the tribes. Then is specifically mentioning about cultural and historical ties dating back to the ancient times. So also the thing is the Buddhism which emerged in India and Nepal. This is the major religion in Burma, or basically Myanmar. Okay. Then is land bridge to Southeast Asia. So Myanmar is the only country of the Southeast Asian region which is sharing direct land borders with India. Okay, so it's a kind of land bridge to the Southeast Asian region. So there are projects, connectivity projects like Kaladan Multimodal project, IMT Trilateral Highway. I'll be talking about these projects in the great detail now. Okay. So then is the importance of the importance for the regional organizations like BIMSTEC. I'll be definitely discussing about BIMSTEC also in great detail. Then is the shortest route to the sea for India's northeastern region through Myanmar. And this is also one of the importance of the Myanmar. Okay. So now since I have mentioned about Kaladan Multimodal project and IMT Trilateral Highway, I'll be talking about them in the greater detail because these are very important from the perspective of prelims, and also in the 2024 prelims, the question 2023 prelims, yes, 2023 prelims, the question have been asked about basically the IMT Trilateral Highway. So yes, it's important for us to get into detail of these projects. So, Kaladan multimodal project. Multimodal, this term specific, itself, this term tells that there are various modes of transport which are going to be there in this project. Okay, so as we can say, stretch kahan se kahan tak hai, mode, like which mode of transportation is there, and the distance. So distance portion is not significant, but yes, we can take a look into the stretch and the mode. See, first one is Kolkata to Sitwe Port. I will definitely be showing you people it in the map as well. So the first one is Kolkata to Sitwe Port, which is there in Myanmar. This is by ship. Sitwe to Paletwa, River Kaladan, inland water transport. Then Paletwa to Indo-Myanmar border in Myanmar. This is by a road. So there is this highway which is there in Myanmar. Then is border to the National Highway 54. This place Wangtlai, I don't know how to actually pronounce it, but yes, to this place, this is again via road. So since different modes are there, that's why it is a multimodal project. Okay, let me show you it in the map. Yes, here it is. See, this is Kolkata port. This is to the Sitwe port. This is via ship. Then here is this Kaladan river, Sitwe to Paletwa. This is inland water transport via river Kaladan. Then Paletwa to Kaletwa, and this entire portion up till the border of Indo-Myanmar border. This is via road, and then up to this Wangtlai region, which is there in India. Then this is again via road. Okay, so this is there in Mizoram, and this is how this multimodal project actually looks like. Okay, so what is the economic significance? See, the project will reduce the distance from Kolkata to Sitwe by approximately 1328 kilometers, and it will reduce the need to transport goods through the narrow Siliguri corridor. Okay, so that I have talked about the chicken snack dilemma. I've talked about it in great detail when I was talking about India Bangladesh relations. Okay, I've talked about it there. So if you have not watched that video, I would request you people to go and watch it. Okay, so this project then it will be connecting Sitwe port in Myanmar to Indo-Myanmar border. It will contribute towards the economic development of the northeastern states. Then is the strategic significance. This would enhance India's strategic footprint in the East Asia, and more importantly in our immediate neighborhood. It will be definitely have talked. This was what I was talking about, the chicken snack dilemma. The narrow Siliguri corridor is there, so it is going to provide an alternative to it. Okay, so enhance India's control over the northeast frontier and reduce logistical vulnerabilities. Then it will also strengthen India's Act East policy. So these are the significances which are there of the Kaladan multimodal project. Okay, so similar kind of significance, strategic significance can be written for the IMT Trilateral Highway. So let me first talk about IMT Trilateral Highway. I for India, M for Myanmar, T for Thailand. IMT Trilateral Highway. Okay, so what is this highway? IMT Highway is a 1360 kilometer route that would connect More in Manipur with Mae Sot in Thailand. Actually, this term, like from where to where it is, this was the question which was there in the statement based question on the, I believe it was in, yes, it was in the year of 2023. This question was there, like from which place to which place this IMT Trilateral Highway is there. Okay, so do remember it, it's important. Then IMT Highway is a part of India's Look East policy and aim to bolster trade and commerce in Asia and India Free Trade Area and Southeast Asia. So this is, we can write in the importance of this highway. It aims to connect India's northeast region with Thailand via Myanmar, facilitating trade and commerce, health, education, tourism between the three nations. So this can also be written in the importance of it. So another, India has proposed extending the road network to include Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, further expanding the region potential. So this is something which has been proposed by India, and also there have been some bottlenecks to it. There have been delays in the implementation of this project. So that is also there, since the idea was there from the year of 2002. But it has faced with various delays and challenges, including the political stability in Myanmar and the financial issue. So initially they had thought that the date year in which they had thought that this project would be operational by, so that was 2015, but now they have extended the timeline. Then again the timeline was extended to 2019, but now the new timeline has been set for the year of 2017. Okay, so this is about the trilateral highway, from where to where it is, what is its importance, why are the delays. Okay, so this is again this is important from the prelims, and when I'll be talking about this is about the IMT highway. So this is from Moretamu, Mandalay, Nuatpitwa, Bago, and then here, like from in Thailand, it Mysore. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing them right or not, but yes, you must remember it. Like from where to where this IMT Trilateral Highway is, and about this Kaladan Multimodal project. Okay, so next one. This was about the importance, and we have talked about two things from the prelims perspective, that is the Kaladan and the IMT Trilateral Highway. Now let's talk a little bit about the timeline of the relations which are there between India and Myanmar, or we can say the history of Myanmar, like taking both side by side, we'll be talking about it. Okay, it was in the year of 1948 that Myanmar got its independence. Okay, so and it was in the year of 1951 that India and Myanmar signed this treaty of friendship. This is the first phase. So this was actually from 1948 was the beginning of the first phase in the relationship between India and Myanmar. So first phase, it was a good phase. Friendship treaty was signed in the year of 1951. Now, it was in the year of 1962, military coup and junta government formed. This is actually written as junta, but yes, it is pronounced as junta. Government was formed, which actually continued till the year of 2010. So it was in the year of 1962 another phase started in the relationship. From this to this year, 1948 to 62, the relationship were good. In 1962, military coup was there, and because of which the relations actually deteriorated. Then, from 1962, then came the year of 1987. The relations were not so good in this phase, but in the year of 1987, Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi visited Myanmar, which actually helped in strengthening the relationship between the two countries. Okay, so again in 1988 there were pro-democracy movements which were there in Myanmar, which led to the influx of Burmese refugees into India. Okay, and because of this pro-democracy movement in 1990, general elections were there in Myanmar, and since these general elections were there in Myanmar, the National League for Democracy, which was led by Aung San Suu Kyi, they won the elections. Okay, so National League for इसको हम NLD बोल देंगे, National League for Democracy. They won the elections, but since they won the elections, the election results were suspended by junta government, and because they were not ready to actually accept the result, and NLD leaders, they were put under the house arrest. And this was here that India's response was that they reacted sharply to it. Okay, so relations were such, but what happened was later NDA government under Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they just said like whosoever is going to be there in Myanmar, India is going to work with them. Actually, the reason behind that is very obvious. One is the strategic location of Myanmar. Okay, and the second reason behind that is influence of China. See, India, Myanmar, they are sharing borders with each other. Myanmar is again sharing borders with China as well. अगर इंडिया का इन्फ्लुएंस म्यांमार पे कम होता है, इंडिया के रिलेशंस म्यांमार के साथ खराब होते हैं, तो for an obvious reason China is going to take an advantage of it, and Myanmar is definitely going to get more closer to the China. Okay, India doesn't want it, so that's why. So this was decided that whosoever is going to be in power in Myanmar, India is going to work with them. Okay, so this was what there. Then it was in the year of 2002, Indian consulate in Mandalay was reopened and Indian consulate of Myanmar was set up in Calcutta. So actually what happened in 2008 year, in the year of 2008, there was this constitutional referendum was there in order like कि democracy होनी चाहिए या नहीं होनी चाहिए. So the referendum was there. Definitely people are going to vote for it. So that's why in the year of 2010, elections were again held. In this case, Tatmada's proxy came to power. Actually, the military in Myanmar, that's also called as a military. This is Tatmada's proxy is nothing but the military-backed political party was there. Tatmadaw is military is also called as the Tatmadaw in Myanmar. So they came to power. Why they came to power? Because NLD leaders, they were already under house arrest. Okay, so since they were the only ones who were fighting the election, that's why they won and they came to power in the year of 2010. Then in 2014, Myanmar became the part of India's neighborhood first policy and the Act East policies. In the year of 2015, NLD came to power under Aung San Suu Kyi. Under 2017, India provided relief material to Myanmar after Cyclone Mora. In 2020 elections again, NLD came to power. In 2021, 1st February, when new parliament, in this PMT, that's parliament, was expected to meet, but the military again conducted a coup and junta regime came again into power. And the same what was happened in the year of 1990, again, the reputation was there because NLD, they won the elections, but military conducted a coup in the year of 2021, and now there is this this junta regime which is there in Myanmar at present. So this is how the timeline which is there, or basically the history which is there of the relations between the countries of India and Myanmar. So democracy has actually been really short-lived, which was there in Myanmar, like from the year of 2010 to 2020, only for a decade it was there. So even when, and actually the important point to remember is, even when the democracy was there, even then the military was having good enough seats in Myanmar. Okay, so and the present situation is that military rule is there in Myanmar. Okay, so this is about the history or the timeline. So when the important point again, that when the coup was conducted in Myanmar, what was India's response to it? What India said? India expressed deep concern. Like verbally said that, they said, the foreign minister said that India actually expressed deep concern in this case. Actually, they just said it. Okay, and like not saying anything else, or they just expressed their deep concern. And the reason for this was, one, they did not want to push Myanmar to Chinese access. Again, I have already told you about it. Then junta play an important role in order to counter the insurgent groups. Like junta, they are what? They are the military of Myanmar. Okay, and it's the military of Myanmar which has played an important role in order to counter these insurgent groups in Myanmar. Okay, so like there had been operations like Operation Sunrise, there has been Operation Sunrise 2, which has been conducted with between Indian military and the military of Myanmar. So in order to counter these insurgent groups, okay, so they have played an important role there. So Operation Sunrise 1 and Operation Sunrise 2. India has, and the another point is, India has undertaken various investment in Myanmar. Example can be Kaladan Multimodal projects and IMT Trilateral Highway. So various projects have been there, and various infrastructural and developmental projects have been there. So that's why India didn't take any extreme step. They just said that they expressed a deep concern. Okay, so another point is, it was in the year of 21-22, like COVID times were there, supplied medicines, medical equipments, vaccine to Myanmar, including more than 20 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Okay, so this was about it. Now let's talk about in little bit detail about the Operation Sunrise 1 and Operation Sunrise 2. The first phase of Operation Sunrise was conducted along the Indo-Myanmar border. during which the Indian Army targeted the members of Arakan Army. Actually, the Arakan Army, these group, an insurgent group which is there in Myanmar, who were opposed to the Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. They are opposed to it. They were like creating a kind of hurdle in the completion of the project. So this was conducted against them. Okay, so this was against the Arakan army. This Operation Sunrise 1 was conducted, and in Operation Sunrise 2 the armies coordinated with each other to bust the camp of militant outfits including the Kamtapur Liberation Organization, National Socialist Council of Nagaland. This is NSCN, Khaplang, United Liberation Front of Assam, that is ULFA, and this National Democratic Front of Bodoland. This is Bodoland actually, National Democratic Front of Bodoland. Okay, so these three militant groups were there against the Operation Sunrise 2 was conducted. So this is about the Operation Sunrise 1 and Operation Sunrise 2. So you might be confused about, these are the militant groups in basically of India only, but you might be confused about Arakan Army. What is it? Okay, so when we'll be talking about Arakan Army, let's first talk about let me explain you about it. See, so let me explain about Arakan Army to you people. See, let's consider this to be a kind of a map of Myanmar. Okay, तो अगर हम इसे म्यांमार देखें, इसके जो इंटरनल रीजन है यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं, इसको बोल देते हैं बर्मा प्रॉपर रीजन, और बाहर वाले रीजन को बोल देते हैं द फ्रंटियर रीजन. यहाँ पे जो मेजॉरिटी पॉपुलेशन है वो बर्मा प्रॉपर रीजन में रहती है, और जो फ्रंटियर रीजन में रहते हैं वहां रहते हैं एथनिक माइनॉरिटीज. अब सिंस एथनिक माइनॉरिटी के लोग रहते हैं ये फ्रंटियर रीजन्स में, और इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट अबाउट म्यांमार इज कि यहाँ के जो मेजरली जो रिसोर्सेज हैं वो फ्रंटियर रीजन्स में है. म्यांमार के जो रिसोर्सेज हैं वो है फ्रंटियर रीजन में. सिंस फ्रंटियर रीजन्स में ये रिसोर्सेज हैं, तो जो फ्रंटियर रीजन के लोग हैं उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि जो उनके रिसोर्सेज हैं उन्हें यूज किया जा रहा है सिर्फ बर्मा प्रॉपर के लोगों की डेवलपमेंट के लिए. ओके, तो जिसकी वजह से ये हमेशा कंफ्लिक्ट में रहते हैं. तो अब ये जो बर्मा प्रॉपर है इसको तो डिवाइड किया है 7 रीजन्स में, और ये जो बर्मा ये जो बर्मा का जो फ्रंटियर रीजन है इसे डिवाइड किया गया है 7 स्टेट्स में फॉर द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव पर्पसेस ओनली. और इन्हीं स्टेट्स में से एक स्टेट है काचिन स्टेट, और काचिन स्टेट की जो आर्मी है दैट इज काचिन इंडिपेंडेंस आर्मी. इस काचिन इंडिपेंडेंस आर्मी की ही एक तरह कह सकते हैं आप एक ऑफ शूट है अरक्कन आर्मी, जो कि एक काइंड ऑफ कंफ्लिक्ट क्रिएट कर रही है, लाइक जो कि मेजरली प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट कर रही है फॉर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द कालादान मल्टी मॉडल प्रोजेक्ट. ओके, क्योंकि कि जब कभी कंप्लीशन की ओर होता है या फिर ये मेजरली इसी चीज में प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज अबाउट दिस रीजन एंड अबाउट द अरक्कन आर्मी. ओके, सो नेक्स्ट, सो अब हमने इन चीजों के बारे में डिस्कस किया है. अब हम नेक्स्ट सब हेडिंग पे आते हैं विच इज अबाउट द एरियाज ऑफ कोऑपरेशन विच आर देयर बिटवीन द टू कंट्रीज. ओके, सो फर्स्ट वन इज ट्रेड एंड इकोनॉमी. Bilateral trade has grown from $12.4 million in 1980-81 to $2.18 billion in 2016. Myanmar is also beneficiary of duty-free tariff preference scheme for the least developed countries. Some Indian companies, Esser, GAIL, ONGC Videsh Limited, they have also invested in Myanmar's energy sector. This is about the trade and economy. Then it comes to connectivity. In connectivity, we can talk about Kaladan Multimodal project. We can talk about IMT Trilateral Highway. So we can talk about these projects. Okay, and again this project is there to 2001 India Myanmar inaugurated 250 kilometers of Tamukalewa Kalemyo Highway, which is popularly known as Indo-Myanmar Friendship Road. Okay, so this is about the connectivity. When it comes to defense, we need to remember the name of the bilateral exercise which is conducted. So this is India Myanmar Bilateral Army Exercise (MX), which is aimed at building and promoting closer relations with the armies. Myanmar is a key partner to fight to end the insurgency. We have already talked about it. Then is the developmental assistance. India has provided developmental assistance to Myanmar, including grants, and has helped to set up the institutions for higher learning and research. Then is the cultural heritage, restored and conserved the Ananda temple and repaired and conserved many damaged pagodas. This is about the cultural heritage. Okay, humanitarian aid and assist disaster relief, be it during the COVID times, be it during the cyclones which are there in Myanmar, India has provided humanitarian aid and assistance. Okay, then about the multilateral, like both the countries are the part of various multilateral organizations. Okay, so be it case of BIMSTEC. Okay, India and ASEAN. We will be talking about the ASEAN group as well. Okay, so India, ASEAN, like they are also connected. Mekong Ganga Cooperation, India is a part of it. Both the countries are the part of it. So this is about the multilateral partnership. We will be talking about all these multilateral regional organizations. Hopefully, after talking about since India-China relationship, after India-China relations, I'll be talking about all these regional organizations. Okay, then is education and research. India has developed Myanmar Institute of Information and Technology and Advanced Center for Agricultural Research and Education for conducting research on pulses and oil seeds. So this is about the education and research sector. So this is actually all about the areas of cooperation which are there between the two countries. I guess all the points must be clear to you people. Okay, areas of cooperation के सभी points किसी में कोई problem नहीं है. You need to learn the examples in order so that you can write them up in your exams. Okay, so I hope all these things are clearer to people. We have discussed about various important points which are important from the perspective of prelims, which are important from the perspective of mains as well. Okay, so this is something about which I wanted to discuss with you people today. So we will be talking about the areas of conflict and way forward in the next class. And in the next class, definitely we'll be covering up the entire India-Myanmar relations. And from the next to next class, we'll be talking about India-China relations. Okay, so this is all for today. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself and yes, see you soon. Bye bye.